All right. How are you guys doing? Are you ready? Oh man. Oh man. So it begins. So it begins. So it begins. Well. Here we are. Here we are. I feel like I'm covering a sports event. It's weird, right? You have so many people excited over a game. It's really a game, isn't it? There are you have two wings of the same party playing catch, and the working class is just running, trying to catch the ball. Wow. Are you excited? Come on, I want to see some excitement. Roll call. By the way, we have to do roll call. If you're present, if your ass is here, I want you to type here in the comments. Okay? Or you can alternatively, you can type your favorite Joe Biden war crime. Libya, Syria. You can also do that. That's also an option. So roll call, everybody. Roll call. We got 95 people watching, but only 51 likes. Man, y'all are cutting me. You're shorting me. You're trying to short me like Joe Biden shorted you with the checks, right? He shorted you by about 30%. He promised you $2,000 checks. And now he's saying, well, hold on, you already got 600 and 1,400 is all I can give you because, I'm not here to actually work for you. I work for Wall Street. If I tried to fuck Wall Street over 30%, they would take me out. But you can't do that. I'm not scared of you. So I can fuck you over as much as I want, and you're not going to do anything about it. You ain't going to do shit. Right? That's Joe Biden. Not just Joe Biden. It's every U.S. politician, but it's Joe Biden right now. He's taken on the role of drone striker in chief and criminal in chief and Wall Street's little pet. Right? So it's the truth. Oh boy, I'm warming up. You have to. I have so much to show you. I have so much. You have no idea. A lot of you have not been tuning into cable news, so I've heard. You've told me you're not watching cable. I don't blame you. I watch cable news, so you don't have to. I suffer through it, so you don't have to. As someone once said. It's true though. I've picked out the best or the highlights rather, and we will go through them. Oh, yes. Just try and picture how bad it is, and it's worse. Okay, if you haven't been paying attention, it's really bad. So, oh boy, I'm just reminiscing to when this time last year it was Bernie. It was Bernie Sanders still had like a shot, and look at where we are now. Wow. Okay. You asked for this. No, I know most of you didn't ask for this, but we're going to get through it. So I want to start out with the inauguration. That's what you're all here for, right? Now, I'm going to try and go through this chronologically. I'm going to try my best. There's, the neoliberals, they're really fans of just putting on a show. So we'll start out with the main attraction, shall we? Joe Biden has now been inaugurated. Yes, the nightmare is real. We've entered the Twilight Zone. This is really like entering the Twilight Zone. Everyone has slipped into a trance. In the blink of an eye, everyone is in a trance. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. And now the next 4 years are going to be spent battling zombies. Yes. They're not going to want to hear about the war crimes. They don't want to know about the people that are being killed in the Middle East. I mean, that's always been true, but particularly now with a Democrat back in charge, no, they don't want to know. This is what it's going to be like for the next 4 years. You're going to be battling zombies. They don't want to know what Joe Biden is doing wrong. When he does something wrong, they will tell you, oh, you just need to give him time. Why are you rushing him? And I've seen this playing out today. People already making excuses for him. Why are you rushing him? He just got into office. Stop it. You're being mean. Oh, and his policies are not mean? His crimes are not mean? You may think that there's time. For other people, there is no time. They don't have the luxury of waiting. And so this is what you're going to be dealing with for the next 4 years. Especially people who criticize empire, right? Because like we're the last ones. We're the brown people, you know. No, we don't want to hear about that. Even when Trump was bombing Syria, bombing Iran, they were cheering it on. Not just, you know, they weren't being critical of him either. So everyone has slipped into a trance. And you're going to spend the next 4 years battling zombies. They don't want to listen. They're going to, like a child, they're going to plug their ears. They're going to look the other way and they're going to say, nah. They're not going to hear it. They don't hear it. They don't care. Domestically, internationally, they don't give a fuck. You know this. I warned you. Others warned you. You knew this is coming. There won't be many sane people. Let's get started, shall we? I'm going to give you, I know you don't want to sit through all 20 minutes of Biden's inauguration speech. I'm not going to make you suffer that much. So we'll just look at a few seconds of it, courtesy of the New York Times. They chopped up a great part over here, right? Let's take a look. Okay.
To restore the soul and secure the future of America requires so much more than words. It requires the most elusive of all things in a democracy, unity. With unity, we can do great things, important things. We can right wrongs. We can put people to work in good jobs. We can teach our children in safe schools. We can overcome the deadly virus. We can reward work and rebuild the middle class and make health care secure for all. We can deliver racial justice, and we can make America once again the leading force for good in the world.
Yes, a typical Joe Biden word salad. Speaking of unity, I got my ring, bitch. You can't see it, but this is the gift I got for my birthday from Mona, right? You remember Dave Chappelle's episode on Rick James? I got the unity ring, bitch. Here's the unity ring. Not that kind of unity, not the neoliberal unity bullshit, the Dave Chappelle unity, Rick James. But no, this is horrendous. It's a neoliberal word salad, right? Did you hear any policies in that? Don't worry, you won't hear them either in the full 20-minute speech. So there was also a poem. Amanda Gorman is her name. The media they're raving about this poem. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, look, it's healing the nation. Oh my. I'll just play you a second of it, right?
Mr. President, Dr. Biden, never-ending and the world. When day comes, we ask ourselves, where can we find light in this never-ending shade? The loss we carry, a sea we must wade. We've braved the belly of the beast. We've learned that quiet isn't always peace. In the norms and notions of what just isn't always just is. And yet the dawn is hours before.
All right. Yeah. Can you get to the part where you stop murdering people? Where's the part where you call out the bullshit? Where's the part where you tell Joe Biden to stop bombing the Middle East and putting black people in jail? Can you get to that part? Oh, it doesn't exist? Oh, that's right. That's what I thought. There's one interesting part, though. She says, hold on, I'll quote it for you, right? She says, here it is. And yet the dawn is hours before we knew it. Somehow we do it. Somehow we weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken but simply unfinished. Ah, lovely adbot, good show. A nation that is simply unfinished. What the fuck is that a threat? I perceive that as a threat. Me, as a Syrian, I'm not kidding. I perceive that as a threat. What do you mean you're unfinished? You want to steal more oil? What do you need, bitch? More blood? What the fuck does that mean? Go finish your nation by yourself without murdering people. Although, again, that doesn't even work since it's built on stolen land, right? It's built on stolen land, the entire thing. So even that would be a stretch. We had some superstars showing up there, right? So Lady Gaga sang the national anthem, the blood chant, right? The war cry, basically. And I think J-Lo was also there, right? Presidential booty, you got to have it. We also had a few war criminal superstars holding up. Check it out. The whole gang was there. Georgie Boy, Pelosi, drone striker in chief himself. They all showed up. Of course, Trump was not there. Trump was not there. He refused to attend. You remember? He refused to attend. So at least the whole gang was there. We were able to enjoy their presence. That's such a warm, cheerful sight when you see all of the war criminals come together, right? It really goes to show you that unity is a real thing. Class solidarity is a real thing. Just not for you. Just not for you. For the elites, yes, but not for you. I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. And the media, they didn't waste a second celebrating. And when I don't say that hypothetically, I don't say that with hyperbole. I say that truly. This is Lauren Wolf. Biden landing a joint base Andrews now. I have chills. Oh, I have chills. I think she deleted her whole account, not the tweet. The account is gone after that, after the pushback. Wow. And moreover, we had some lovely coverage from ABC, right? I put on ABC, and they were so ecstatic about the return of decency and restoring the soul of the nation. They even started playing clips of George Bush's inauguration. You remember George Bush, who started the war on terror, the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq? Yeah? You remember that? Who started ICE, the DHS? That George Bush? Yeah? Who killed and displaced millions of Iraqis? The same one? Yeah. Yeah. That George Bush. Not senior, junior. Right? Since we have to specify which criminal we're talking about. Yes, they started playing clips of Georgie Boy. And now I've lost my goddamn place, and I had it ready. Oh. They're just atrocious. They really are. Christ almighty. Here we go.
News honored winner for the second straight year with the Edward R. Murrow Award for overall excellence. Today, news stream Murrow.
Flames behind.
Streaming live.
There he is.
Into the world. It is a story of a new world that became a friend and liberator of the old. The story of a slaveholding society that became a servant of freedom. The story of a power that went into the world to protect but not possess, to defend but not to conquer. It is the American story, a story of flawed and fallible people, united across the generations by grand and enduring ideals.
Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the inauguration of President Joe Biden. I'm Diane Macedo. Ahead in this hour, we are expecting the new president to virtually swear in his appointees. We were also just watching there the inauguration of President George W. Bush, who we are learning is set to appear in a video tonight with former President Obama and former President Clinton in a message of unity. And let's bring in Patrisse Cullors right now, co-founder and executive director of Black Lives Matter. Patrisse, thanks for being here. President Trump is no longer in office. We now have President Biden. Where do we go from here as a country?
I think now is the time that we focus on accountability for the white supremacist movement.
How the fuck do you play a clip of George Bush and then in the next breath talk about holding white supremacists accountable? You just elected fucking Biden. This is a parody. This has to be a parody. This has to be a parody. Am I the only... What was that line by Eminem? Am I the only one who's fucking normal anymore? What is this shit, man? What are they doing? How? Please, someone explain to me. Honestly, someone explain to me how on God's earth Joe Biden and George Bush have anything to do with protecting black people or people of color. They spent their whole lives screwing them, bombing them, killing them, jailing them. And they just it just, they move from that to the next thing. Yeah, like just, fluid, like it's nothing. Yeah, sure. This is all cohesive. This all makes sense. This all fits together. Of course, this is not in direct contradiction. We are not hypocrites. This is normal. Look how they whitewash these fucking murderers. Unreal. This is today's coverage, man. And we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. Look at them. They're so cute. Aren't they cute? Aw. Little pack of war criminals. You ready for the next blow? This is what Rashida Tlaib posted. Madame Vice President. Look, they're celebrating, man. Not just that, by the way, huh? Not just that. Look at this. Look at this. We also had Rashida posting about Christ. It's really bad, huh? So we also had Rashida posting over here, along with the rest of the squad. No matter your political views today, there is a sense of peace. There's a sense of peace when you see the incoming president show some empathy. Really. Really. I'd like to see that empathy. I really would. Here you have Jamal Bowman saying, today is a celebration. Let's celebrate. And then let's get right back to it tomorrow and lead with love and compassion. Ilhan Omar. Again, today we celebrate. I'm seeing this word a lot over here, celebrate. I'm not sure what they're celebrating. And AOC, this is a tiny bit better. She says, a historic day. Congratulations to our new president, Joe Biden, and our new vice president, Kamala Harris. Now we must begin creating justice, healing our planet, and improving the material conditions for all people. The work is on all of us to organize and build a better future. Okay. So you're saying you're going to push him left. Is that it? Is that what I'm hearing? I hope that's what I'm hearing. Because again, I don't really see a policy there. It's just more platitudes. I mean, what does that mean exactly? Improving the material conditions for people? Yes, I agree. In what way? How much? When? How soon? They don't say. I mean, if I could read you that sentence and you would not know who said it, and you would not know what era it is from. That could be from 100 years ago. There's no policy included anywhere. And you have these so-called progressives that are celebrating a fucking segregationist, a piece of shit that has spent his entire life in Washington, D.C., just catering to virtually every private sector imaginable, credit card industry, the banks. He made sure that if you take out a student loan, you can't even file for bankruptcy, like really screwing you real good. And catering to the fossil fuel industry, to big oil, right? Directly, but also, of course, doing his part for the military-industrial complex, right? Helping start the war in Iraq. I mean, there isn't a thing this man has not done. There's not a domain, an industry that he has not catered to and served. He's the opposite of everything progressive. I mean, so is the entire party, if we're being honest. Yes? If Pelosi had been elected president today, I'd be saying the same shit, wouldn't I? Again, bewildering how you can join such a party when you are a progressive. Truly bewildering. I think this tweet encapsulates the media response. Joe Biden farts and Van Jones cries. Yeah. That's pretty much how it's been. And then over here as well, y'all are like, let people enjoy things, and the things in question are war criminals in designer suits. Pretty much says it all. Of course, Joe Biden received his congratulations from our favorite Zionist, right? Our favorite little Zionist, Netanyahu. So let's look at what he had to say. I know. Please try not to vomit.
Congratulations, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, on your historic inauguration. President Biden, you and I have had a warm personal friendship going back many decades. I look forward to working with you to further strengthen the U.S.-Israel alliance, to continue expanding peace between Israel and the Arab world, and to confront common challenges, chief among them the threat posed by Iran. I wish you the greatest success. God bless the United States of America. God bless Israel.
Holy shit. Yo, what was that, man? What was that? This guy cannot stop talking about Iran. He cannot stop for 1 minute. He can't even do a congratulations video without mentioning Iran. Unbelievable. And Israel, of course, right? He's like, you know, remember, we're friends, Joe Biden. You remember that, right? We've been buddies for a long time. You'll help us with Iran, won't you? And our endeavors in the Middle East. You remember that, right, Joe? Right? Israel? God bless Israel, by the way. Iran. Remember Iran, Joe? Holy shit. That's a good one, huh? That's a good one. Wow. I like it. It's kind of like a mafia boss reminding one of his little proteges. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know? I like it. It's like a movie. It's like something out of The Godfather, right? It just also shows what an arrogant bastard he is. And we have Chuck Schumer in the Senate. Now he's the majority leader, right? He's taken McConnell's place. I can't wait to hear the fucking excuses they come up with. Not to give you health care, not to do anything about climate change, not to stop the wars, right? They have control of everything. You got control of the Senate, the House, and the White House. Just like when Obama took office. You know they're not going to do shit.
Ago, on the West Front of this citadel of democracy, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were administered the oaths of office to the presidency and the vice presidency of the United States. We have turned the page to a new chapter in the history of our democracy, and I am full of hope. I would challenge anyone not to feel hopeful today after listening to Amanda Gorman, the amazing 22-year-old poet, wise far beyond her years, who told us that, quote, somehow we've weathered and witnessed a nation that isn't broken, but simply unfinished. The hope she spoke about, strong and happy hope, the hope we feel.
Okay, we get it. Hope, unity. Okay, we get it. You done? Here's a little meme someone made out of Biden's speech, which I thought was look at this.
To all those who did not support us, let me say this.
You ain't black.
You remember when Biden was on the Breakfast Club and he's talking to Charlemagne the God, and he's like, if you don't know whether you're for me or you're for Trump, then you ain't black. And Charlemagne just lets it slide like it's nothing. Like, holy what? Thought that was funny. Just another reminder how they were perfectly fine electing this segregationist, racist bastard. I need to sit up straight, man. They got no problem, huh? They got no problem with his ass because he has a D next to his name, right? Look, we had other people celebrating over here. George Takei, I imagine Hillary Clinton is feeling pretty damn good today. And she replies, accurate. I'm trying not to puke. I'm sorry. Oh God. Like we needed to be reminded of Hillary. Oh no. It just doesn't stop, man. It just doesn't stop. And you had Ilhan Omar also tweeting, Alhamdulillah. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? ليش يا أختي ليش ما بتستحي ما يعني والله حرام استحي بقى عيب شرشحتي الدنيا انتي ورشيدة. Have some shame. Have some shame, man. Alhamdulillah means like praise the Lord, you know, grace be to God. Alhamd ilallah. That's what it means. It's Arabic. It's Muslim, but you know, Christians say it alike. What is she thanking God for in regards to Biden? What, for destroying the Middle East? What exactly are you praising God for? Please explain this to me, man. This hurts. It really does, you know? Seeing Rashida, seeing Ilhan Omar, you know, I expect them to have a bit more nuance than that, you know? Being, she's from Somalia, Ilhan Omar, right? She's a refugee. So she understands the region. She understands, I suppose at least, she should understand the Middle East. She should understand, Sub-Saharan Africa. She should understand imperialism, being that she's a refugee. She should understand what is being done to us. And the same thing from Rashida, right? Being Palestinian. She still has a grandmother there, if I recall correctly. So why are they tweeting stuff like this? What are you doing? Here's another one. Hold on. Where was this from? Yeah, I already showed you the one from Rashida. It's horrible. It really is. I mean, I'd say especially in the case of Rashida. You know why? Because Biden is a Zionist. And he says so proudly. And here's a reminder in case you forgot.
How can I say it? So strong with Jews worldwide. There is a, I mean, you know, I used to say early on when I was a kid, I'd say, when I was a young senator, I'd say, if I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
Well,
okay, how cute. How nice. Wow. How cute. And of course, Kamala Harris, also a big friend of AIPAC, which is the Zionist lobby in the US. Yeah. Has spoken at their conferences many times. What are you happy about, Rashida? For God's sake, like if there's one person in the entire Congress who's going to maybe call them out on this, could it not be you? I don't know, man. You know, someone once commented on Twitter, and I don't know if they were talking about Rashida or they were talking about Ilhan Omar. I can't remember, but they were saying something along the lines of an Arab American or a Somali American. I don't know. So like an Arab American is still an American at the end of the day, something like that. And I was like, oh shit, that's food for thought. That's food for thought, man. I don't know what's going on here. I don't like that. I expect better. I really do. You know, like if you're, remember, Rashida speaks Arabic too. It's not like, oh, she's just, you know, grown up there or something. No, she's fully immersed in Arabic culture. She knows. That's part of why I like her, right? But I don't like this. I don't like seeing this celebrating Zionists, celebrating warmongers, celebrating agents of imperialism and the oligarchy in Wall Street and the military-industrial complex. No, I don't like that. I don't tolerate that. And that's bullshit. And you should be ashamed. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. There's nothing to celebrate here. If there's one person, if there's two people who should be calling them out, it's you, for God's sake. You know, you should be in there to bat for us, for the people that don't have a voice in this affair. Yes? That's what you should be doing, man. For God's sake. Like, you're in the belly of the beast, aren't you? Do something, man. Don't let them get away with that. Here's Joe Biden. I honestly don't know when this is from. 17th, that's a few days ago. I just want to show you because he said, this is related to his inauguration because he said the same thing when I showed you his New York Times clip now during his inauguration, right? About healthcare. Pay attention. He said the same thing a few days ago, okay? Try and make out what he's saying.
We have to make sure everyone has access to maintain affordable health insurance coverage. We should be making it easier, not harder, to make sure make sense to, you know, let me put it another way. It makes no sense. We have to make sure everyone has access.
You're damn right it makes no sense. What the fuck did you just say? I need a fucking pen and a paper, man. Hold on, what?
We have to make sure everyone has access to maintain affordable health insurance coverage.
Access to maintain what? Affordable health? Motherfucker. Yo, that doesn't sound like Medicare for all. That's too many words to say I'm going to give you health care. That's too many words. I bet he doesn't mince words like that when he speaks to his donors, right? When he said nothing will fundamentally change, that comes across crystal fucking clear. What the fuck was that? I mean, we all knew he's not going to give you Medicare for all. He said, I will veto Medicare for all. We know that. But this ain't good. This is a word salad upon word salads. Jesus Christ. He's besting himself. He's outdoing himself. Oh, God. So here you can see Joe Biden and his wife. My apologies. She wants to be, remember, you have to remember the title, right? The king and the queen will not tolerate such affronts on their personalities. You must show respect before the crown, her boy. Dr. Jill Biden. Yes? Remember when she told you to swallow a little? You know, maybe your candidate wants to give you health care, but Joe has a better chance. And even though he might not support what you want, you should swallow a little and vote for him. Have you swallowed enough? How's the swallowing going, guys? Are you all swallowed up? Boo! Boo! This is just so pathetic. It's like the clip with Bush that they were playing on ABC of his inauguration with all the patriotic music, right? Yes, you have to pay attention to that, man. It makes a difference because there's a difference when, like, I play you a clip of George Bush speaking, and then there's a difference when I put patriotic music, right? I underscore it with patriotic music, and I call for celebration because Orange Cheetah Man is gone. They're celebrating George fucking Bush, right? And they're telling you to celebrate one of his minions now as well. Christ Almighty. And here you have Clyburn saying, Bush told me I'm savior for Biden endorsement. Whoa. You know, you're the savior because if you had not nominated Joe Biden, we would not be having this transfer of power today. Clyburn said on a press call with reporters when asked what he was thinking when Biden was taking his oath of office on Wednesday morning. Yeah, I would not brag about that. You know, if George Bush came up to me and made a compliment, I would not be proud of that. I probably wouldn't mention that to anyone if I were you. Probably means you're doing something really, really fucked up. Okay. If George Bush approves, you know it's fucked up. And you can see the whitewashing that is going on here. This is really the main point that I want to drive home. And it's astonishing because it's happening on all fronts. On all fronts. You're seeing this from previous administrations, right? Yes, you're going to have people say, well, every president attends the inauguration. It's just custom, it's tradition. No, they're giving endorsements, right? Thumbs up. They're happy about this. So it's very different. We didn't see that during Trump, for example, so it's not just a tradition. Regardless, you're seeing the political class trying to convince you that Joe Biden is good for you. You're seeing the media class doing the same thing, right? They're so ecstatic. They're ejaculating all over the place now. It's like, oh, this is done deal. Look, everything's going to go back to normal now. The world is at peace. A new age is here. Nothing to worry about. We're in control now. Orange Cheeto Man bad is gone. Everything's okay. Daddy Biden is here. Uncle Joe and his Rainbow Coalition death cult, they're taking over now. You have nothing to worry about. You're in good hands. You're in such good hands that, you know, we're going to play some clips of George Bush just to jog your memory about how things used to be and how they can be again. What the fuck? And then you have the squad, the progressives, the fucking people that you're supposed to be relying on, clapping? What are you clapping about, you stupid fucks? I'm not going to cut you slack, man. I'm really not going to cut you slack. I don't have to, I don't owe you that. I don't have to do this. You are 4, 5, 6 people among 435. Among billions on the planet who have the power to do something, the power to say something. Your words carry weight. Do they not? What do you choose to do? You choose to celebrate this segregationist, racist, author of the crime bill, the bankruptcy bill, this agent of Wall Street, the guy who lied about WMDs. That's what you're celebrating with? Alhamdulillah. كلاسي طيزي. على شو مبسوطة وليه؟ عن جد حمير الناس؟ ما في مخ. There's no fucking brain. They're a bunch of donkeys. That's an insult to donkeys. What are you praising God for? There's nothing to praise here. These people are the fucking devils. They reap, they do nothing but cause misery and destruction domestically, abroad, all over the fucking place. What are you praising God for, man? This is absurd. You should be fucking crying. And so you have these few people, these progressives, selling you out, man. But it's okay. You know why? I'll tell you why, man. Because according to them, Joe Biden, he brings unity to the table. Look, see? Got the unity ring on? Unity! Nothing to worry about. Unity. It's okay, unity. You don't need healthcare. The planet can burn. People in the Middle East can keep dying. We'll keep locking up black people. Police can keep killing you. It's okay. Unity. It's okay. Unity. Be quiet. Shh. Unity. And if Joe Biden doesn't do what you want, doesn't matter. Unity. Look, Orange Cheeto Man is gone. Unity. It's nauseating. It really is. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous and villainous and nefarious and malicious how they all unite, the media class, the political class, the supposed progressives who are supposed to be batting for you. Look how they are all in unison. This should be, you should have alarm bells going off. This is a cause for concern. This should be a warning to you. When everyone in Washington, D.C. agrees on something, you better be fucking scared. You better be fucking scared, because this is not good, man. They're already insulating this bastard from criticism. They were already telling you, look, this is the best thing. You're not going to get anything better. You better be quiet. And that's the way it is. Unity. It's so cheap. It really is cheap, I find. It's cheap. All of this circus, this neoliberal circus. So fuck you. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck everyone who supports Joe Biden. I do not tolerate you. I do not tolerate Zionist bullshit. I do not tolerate imperialist bullshit. I do not tolerate agents of capitalism and Wall Street. I do not tolerate people who vouch for the military industrial complex and the national security state and lie about weapons of mass destruction and spend their entire careers bombing other countries and locking up black people and making sure that the working class suffers day in and day out. I do not tolerate you. If you are aligned with Joe Biden, if you are aligned with these kinds of values, fuck you. You are the enemy of all sane, civilized, and human beings on this planet. That's who you are. So fuck you. Okay? They are showing you once again that there's no such thing as race. There's no such thing as ethnicity or religion. They don't distinguish based on those values in DC and in those circles. They only recognize class. Do you understand? It's ironic in a way. It's ironic in a way. Amongst themselves, when you work with them, it doesn't matter really where you're from. They just want to know that you're part of the same class, that you're serving their interests. That's what matters. Really ironic, isn't it? Especially for a country that spreads white supremacy, that is the symbol, the quintessential vehicle through which white supremacy is disseminated across the globe, the United States, right? Very ironic. So you should be very alarmed that these people are all trying to sell you Joe Biden. And you know this since before, but it's just nauseating seeing the whole circus now. And get ready for the new era, because it's not going to be pretty. And no one is going to want to listen to criticism. New boss, same as the old boss, right? I got my Who poster over there. So you know the lyrics. Don't get fooled again, baby. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. Who says that again? Well, me. Wake up, asshole. Seriously, though. But I think it's also the G-Man from Half-Life 2, right? Wake up, Mr. Freeman. Yes, wake up. You're in a dystopia. It's not nice. It's not pretty. Oh, God, they're so nauseating. They got rid of Trump, and they gave you the man who gave you Trump. Well done. Well done. So I'm just going to take a look at a few of your super chats before I get to the next segment. Make sure that you've hit the like button if you have not already. And it helps with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we have Neil. Thank you, Neil. Says, it's a Wall Street hustle. Keep on keeping on, Richard. Of course, definitely, I will keep on keeping on. And I agree totally. It is a Wall Street hustle, right? I mean, when I say Wall Street, I also, in that same breath, I tend to include all the other industries, right? It's all interlinked, isn't it? Military industrial complex, big pharma, they're all working together. So I hope that is, I'm pretty sure that's what you mean as well. Holly, thank you. It says, for you and your work, Richie, carry on. You deserve a super chat. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that very, very, very much. Jose says, United Corruption. Yeah, let's change the country's name to United States of Corruption. That's a good one. Florin says, amazing work as always. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Just give me 1 second over here. I'm just, hold on. We got a super chat over here from Colin that I want to read to you. Habibi, can't watch you online tonight as I'm hanging with my cousin and friends right now, but wanted to send you some support. Your way as a thank you for your truth spitting during the Trump era and even more as we enter the Biden-Harris era. Appreciate you. Hashtag fuck Biden. Hashtag fuck Harris. Hashtag fuck the whole establishment. Hashtag I can't believe that people are happy that Death Rattle is president. But hey, he's better than Trump, right? Thank you, Habib. I really appreciate that. And by the way, we also got a new patron, Pat. Pat, thank you so much for signing up to support the show. Whenever someone signs up to support the show, I play them a lovely little crab dance, right? That's our little way to celebrate. So I really appreciate it. Here you go.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. And he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Hey, why you text
Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
Yay. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And clap for that, you stupid bastards. Oh, man. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? Check this out, man. Right now, we're at 390, thanks to Pat. We are 10 members away. 10. Just 10 members away from hitting our goal. This is amazing. And once we hit 400, I will unveil the next iteration, the new version of the crab dance with the updated crab dance, the post Trump era crab dance. So let's get there. I think we can get there tonight, man. We got 150 plus people watching right now. Just need 10 more of you to sign up. 10 more, and then we are right where we want to be. Thank you so much for supporting independent media. The link is in the chat and the description. And if you would like to make a one-time donation, Venmo, CashApp, PayPal, that's also greatly appreciated. I thank you very much for your support. And again, I'm not gonna mince words, man. This new tech bullshit is kind of scary, and you know, any moment they can just pull the plug. And you saw last week they were doing stuff to a bunch of lefty channels, as they've done in the past, including mine. So it's really, I really implore you to go and join Rockpin. No less because you have a lot of people on there now. Most of the channels you already watch are there too, right? So I'm there. You got Unauthorized Disclosure, Heartlands Media, Status Coup, Jimmy Dore, Ron Placone, Convo Couch, Graham, Nico. Everyone is there. So this is only going to keep growing, and we get paid better on top of it. So if you really want to support us, definitely that is the spot to be, and you support everyone at the same time. It's really a pretty good deal, honestly. And there's no censorship, which I appreciate most of all, since on YouTube I'm not even allowed to put my country's name in the title. So, you know. Yeah, this is just great, man. This is just great watching the media salivate over this fucking war criminal. Oh, wow. Okay, so let's get to the next segment. I want to get to the next part of this this saga, right? It really is a saga. So, okay. I'm going to close this down. Right. So Joe Biden, he's been elected now. He's been inaugurated. He's the president of the United States. And his first order of business has been to sign a stack of executive orders. Okay, let's take a look at them, shall we? So there's one about masks. If you're in a federal building, federal land, you have to wear a mask. This is going to last for 100 days, and there's also going to be physical distancing. Here, he's going to stop the United States withdrawal from the WHO, the World Health, oh God, I can't even speak, you know, I'm having a Biden moment. The World Health Organization, goddammit. So you remember Trump pulled out of all of these different, well, not just organizations, but deals like the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, but also the World Health Organization, the Human Rights Council, everything. I mean, I can't even name them. It's like a dozen. So, and the Paris Climate Accords, etc. So this is a reversal. It's not a new decision that Biden has taken. He's just reversing something that Trump did. Okay. And you can see on the second column, you have an indication whether that's a reversal of a Trump decision or not. This is one of them. So here he's doing this again in regards to COVID. Okay. He's creating a new position, a response coordinator. Here, he's extending the nationwide moratorium on evictions and foreclosures until at least March 31st. Okay? Afterwards, he's extending the pause on student loan payments. So I think that was set to expire this month in January. And he's going to extend it until at least September 30th. And there will be no interest accrued on those student loans as well. So it's a complete pause. Now, okay, you can look at that and say that's a good thing. Yes. Is it enough? No. We know damn well that if he really wanted to, he could just cancel the whole lot. I mean, like, why do you need to pause it? It's just, you're just pausing people's suffering. Yes, okay, it's some relief, but it's not really a solution at all. It's not a solution. This is nonsense. And I mean, we know that that Biden, you know, he's never going to cancel student debt. He was not offering what Bernie Sanders was offering. And even if he had lied about it, we knew he would have been lying. But the thing is that he was saying, okay, maybe I'll cancel like 10K or something. I don't know. The figure keeps changing as always. And it's just such a slap in the face. It really is. And you have to understand that there's 1.5 trillion. I don't know. There's a website that has a live counter of how many, how big the student debt crisis is ballooning. It's in the trillions at this point, and it's nearing 2 trillion. And this is an astronomical crisis that needs to be dealt with. I mean, it's not just morally, right? Not just ethically, but also financially speaking. And Joe Biden, remember, he's the guy who helped push the bankruptcy bill. And in the bankruptcy bill, it says that you cannot file for bankruptcy for student loans. It's like, oh, you are going to pay that shit. So again, for me, I mean, this is not even a half measure. This is an insult. It really is. He's essentially saying, fuck you to the working class. Screw you for trying to get a higher education. Screw you for trying to better yourself. And it's also a divestment in your own public infrastructure. I mean, universities, college educations, it's good for your own country. It's not just, people going out and buying Ferraris with their student loans. No, that's not how that works. So it's not just counterproductive for the nation. It's also a slap in the face to the working class. And remember, Joe Biden said, I have no empathy for young people. Yeah, well, he's shown it. He's rejoining the Paris Climate Accord. Again, that's something that Trump pulled out of, remember? And I mean, so are we supposed to be happy about that? Because it's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. To me, this is a symbolic gesture. It means nothing. It's not me saying that, right? I mean, the UN have made it pretty clear that the goals themselves of the Paris Climate Accord are not enough. So even if Trump hadn't left it, it's not enough. Do you understand? You need immediate action to fix this climate issue. And Joe Biden is not going to do anything about that. I mean, don't even trip. Remember, Joe Biden has not just been catering to the credit card industry and the banks, one of those facets being that he made sure you can't file bankruptcy on student loans, but also the fossil fuel industry, right? So another one of his executive orders here, he says he's canceling the Keystone XL pipeline. Okay, what about the Dakota Access pipeline? What about that? Oh, that's not being canceled, apparently. No word on that. And you go and look at who's been taking the most contributions from oil and gas. He's second to fucking Trump. Do you remember how he lied during his primary campaign about a fundraiser that he was doing at the house of a fossil fuel executive? And then he claimed, oh, I didn't know he's a fossil fuel executive. Really? You didn't know that? You just hold fundraisers, private fundraisers at random people's houses? You don't know who they are? That's weird. That's odd for someone running for president. Are you sure you can handle it? if you don't know where you're going. I mean, doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. And remember, Joe Biden lied about banning fracking, and Kamala Harris, of course. Here they are, side by side. This is before they got the nomination from the Democratic Party, and after. Quite a stark difference.
There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah. Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact.
No new fracking.
I am not banning fracking.
Well, that's pretty clear to me. They're not banning fracking and they're liars. So there it is. I mean, what the fuck are you expecting from these corrupt agents of Wall Street? What are you expecting? More half measures, right? And here we have, he's reversing the Trump administration's 1776 commission, directs agencies to review their actions to ensure racial equity. Now, hold on a second right there, okay? Because I'd pulled up this this tweet from Sean King. I don't know if I have it over here, but I'm also pretty sure that Joe Biden said that he would, one of his first executive actions, one of his first executive orders would be to do something about mass incarceration, to do something about policing. Where is it? It's not in this list. I didn't see anything. There's nothing in here about mass incarceration. There's, which he's responsible for, having written the crime bill, that son of a bitch. Nothing. And Kamala Harris, of course, right? Both of them great friends of the prison industrial complex, which is, let's call it for what it is. It's modern slavery. That's what it is. Here he's signing one that prevents workplace discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity. Okay. Here, this is about the census. So I remember when Trump tried to do this. So this is also a reversal, one of Trump's policies. It requires non-citizens to be included in the census. So there was this whole scandal about wanting to include a question in the census. Are you a U.S. citizen? You remember that? So he's reversing that. This fortifies DACA after Trump's efforts to undo protections for undocumented people brought into the country as children. Okay. Here, he reverses the Trump administration's restrictions on U.S. entry for passport holders from 7 Muslim-majority countries. Now we get to an interesting one. This is where everyone has been saying, oh my God, look, you see what a breath of fresh air Biden is. Just within hours of being inaugurated, he's already dismantled this horribly racist policy. Has he really? Are you sure about that? Because I recall he came up with it. Obama and Biden, they laid the foundation of the Muslim ban, and Trump built on it. Are you forgetting that? I didn't forget it. I remember quite well. He didn't cancel that. That's still there. But of course, 99.9% of people have no clue about that. So they don't mention it. Funny how that works, right? This is from, here we go. So as opposed to being an anomaly induced by Trump's presidency, the ban, the so-called Muslim ban, was set in motion by Barack Obama's administration. In December 2015, Obama signed into law the Visa Waiver Improvement Program and Terrorist Travel Prevention Act, which designated Iraq, Iran, Syria, Yemen, Sudan, Libya, and Somalia as areas of concern. An attorney with the American Arab Anti-Discrimination Committee, Yolanda Rondon, criticized the act for blatant profiling on its face. Only nationals of particular countries, regardless of whether they ever traveled to a terrorist country, support country or not, have to meet additional requirements they would not otherwise have to go through if they were not Arab. It is premised on the unreliable assumption that Arabs are more prone to terrorism and to commit terrorist acts, and further perpetuates stereotypes that Arabs are terrorists. So they didn't tell you that part, of course, right? This is from Observer, by the way. And I mean, I remember this at the time, and it's so convenient, once again, of how they whitewash Obama and incidentally Biden's crimes, and gloss over it. Like, they don't even bring it up or mention it. Like, oh, okay, well, he has reversed Trump's so-called Muslim ban, but it doesn't go far enough, because if you look back at the Obama administration, they did so-and-so. No, not a fucking word. Not a fucking word. It's like, shh, don't talk about that. No, don't bring that up. It's unbelievable. You know, it's just like when they talk about, oh, you know, Biden is planning on ending U.S. support for the war in Yemen. You mean that war which he started? Why did you leave that part out? I think you should say that. Maybe you should fucking bring that up. You don't think that's relevant? Unreal. These people are all the same. They're truly scum. So here he's also signing, Joe Biden's also undoing Trump's expansion of immigration enforcement within the United States. And he's halting construction of the border wall by terminating the national emergency declaration used to fund it, right? So you remember Donald Trump declared a state of emergency so he could divert these funds from the Pentagon, if I recall correctly, to build a border wall. Well, that's apparently going to be stopped. In regards to immigration enforcement, so they're saying now that basically illegal immigrants will not be the primary focus of deportation, apparently, and that they're going to focus more on people who are, you know, a security threat. What does that mean? Didn't they call Obama the deporter in chief? Wasn't Biden his vice president? They deported 3 million, I think that's the ballpark, around 3 million Latinos and Hispanics from the United States. He deported more people than any other president before him. Why isn't he dismantling ICE completely, which was created under the Bush regime? What does this mean exactly? What about the kids in cages? You remember how we kept hearing there are kids in cages. Families are being separated. Okay, well, they're still in cages as far as I can tell. You didn't say anything about that. Oh, that's right. Obama built the cages and you were his vice president. Oh, right. They're going back to brunch, man. This is what this is. They're just resuming the same fucking program. Business as usual. Here he's extending deferrals of deportation and work authorizations for Liberians with a safe haven in the U.S. until June 30th, 2022. Here he requires executive branch appointees to sign an ethics pledge, barring them from acting in personal interest and requiring them to uphold the independence of the DOJ. Speaking of the DOJ, we'll get to Assange in a second. And here he's directing, this executive order directs the OMB director to develop recommendations to modernize regulatory review and undoes Trump's regulatory approval process. Remember, the new OMB is near a tandem. So I don't think she's been confirmed just yet. They'll do that soon. And of course, you'll see Bernie Sanders vote for her. Get ready. So, you know, here is Biden signing all these things, right?
Executive orders over the next several days, the week. And I'm going to start today. The compounding crisis of COVID-19, along with the economic crisis following that, and climate crisis, racial equity issues. And, you know, some of the executive actions I'm going to be signing today are going to help change the course of the COVID crisis, and we're going to combat climate change in a way that we haven't done so far, and advance racial equity and support other underserved communities. We're going to rebuild our economy as well. And these are just all starting points. We're going to, in the process of rebuilding the economy, do what I said throughout the campaign and while running, rebuild the backbone of the country, the middle class. And so there's going to be a lot of focus on that. And I think some of the things we're going to be doing are bold and vital. And there's no time to start like today. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm proud of today's executive actions. I'm going to start by keeping the promises I made to the American people. A long way to go. These are just executive actions. They are important, but we're going to need legislation for a lot of the things we're going to do. And the first order I'm going to be signing here relates to COVID, and it's requiring, as I said all along, where I have authority, mandating masks be worn, social distancing be kept on federal property, on interstate commerce, etc. This is the first one I'm signing.
All right, Uncle Joe. Okay. So you say you want to help the working class, the middle class. Where is it? Man, at the snap of a finger, he could give you health care. At the snap of his fucking fingers. He won't do it. He could cancel student debt. He won't do it. He could stop all executions, right? You had these horrible executions being carried out, people being put to death on death row by the Trump administration in the last couple of days. Horrible. At the snap of his fucking fingers, he could do it now. He could write it on a piece of toilet paper and sign it. He won't do it. Where is it? Where's the $15 minimum wage? Didn't he campaign on a $15 minimum wage? Why are they such pieces of shit? Why are they so horrible? Nothing, man, nothing. I know there's going to be some smartass who's going to oh, well, there are things you just can't do by executive order. Shut the fuck up, asshole. Go and fuck yourself. You're talking about the richest nation in history. Yeah? They got so much money, they don't even know what the fuck to do with it. They got money for Space Force. They got money to come in and bomb my country. You got money for that, asshole? Don't give me these excuses. Don't give me that bullshit. Don't make excuses for corruption. Stop making excuses for people who serve Wall Street. Stop making excuses for the military-industrial complex. Have some fucking shame, man. Have some fucking shame. Have some goddamn empathy. What is wrong with you? People out there suffering. Yeah, this is a good start. Why, dude, how hard is it to do what I just told you? You can't do both? Why can't you do both? Why can't you do both? Because they don't want to do both. That's why. Because Joe Biden, every US president, they're not elected to serve you. This is a show. This is a facade. And it's further cemented and underscored by the fact that he is only rolling back the things that Trump did and leaving in place the shit that he is responsible for, that Obama is responsible for, that the neoliberal system is responsible for. He's leaving them untouched. Don't care. These people are such frauds. Truly, they're such frauds. So there you go. It's weird. It's weird seeing Biden in that chair, isn't it? As opposed to Orange Cheeto Man. But I guess we better get used to it, right? Then again, seeing Orange Cheeto Man in that chair was also weird. Christ. What a cabal of just the worst the worst human beings to ever exist. All of them. What a cesspit, truly. I remember my most distinct memory from that chair is when George Bush declared war in Iraq. My fellow Americans, at this moment, coalition forces. Christ, that sends fucking chills down my spine. It really does. It gives me chills. It sends shivers down my spine because it's so cold and horrific, and and it's like I feel weird even saying that because it's not like I was in Iraq or I experienced that war, but just which is like a million times worse, of course, right? The reality on the ground of what happened there, but you could see the shock and awe, as they called it. You could see the bombing taking place in real time, the tanks invading, the aerial bombardment of Baghdad. You saw the night vision footage of tracer bullets going off in the air. I mean, it was really like you really felt. Again, if any one of you remembers this, maybe you agree with me. You really felt at that time like the whole world was just frozen, and you had this great apocalyptic thing unfolding. That's how I remember it. And I think it's accurate. I think it's true because the world has not been the same since. And arguably you could say it's earlier than that with Afghanistan, right? And we're still not out of it, man. We're still not out of it. You still have US troops, coalition troops in Iraq to this day. They have not left that place. And now they're in even more places. Now they're in Syria. And the empire continues. And my point here, I think I'll just conclude with the fact that Joe Biden could have done much more with executive action, and he's not doing it. And I think this is just a means to shut people up. This is like the bare minimum. It's not even the bare minimum, because to me, the bare minimum is, having healthcare, for example. That to me is like, you don't even contemplate such a thing. Of course, that is the real bare minimum, if we're being honest. This is not the bare minimum. Not at all. You could cancel student loan debt if you wanted to. He's not doing it. This shows that he is dedicated to serving Wall Street, that he's dedicated to serving the banks. Not you. We knew that, but it's important to underline that because not many people will be doing that for the next couple of years. So, So just give me 1 second, please. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back before we continue. And if you can, please support the show. It's really appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. 1 second. Be right back. Okay. So, sorry for the delay. I was looking for something that I want to show you for the next segment. And, oh man, this is just, you know. They don't quit. So, I'm sorry I have to put you through this, but oh God. It's loading. Okay, there we go. So, hold on, man. My Silok has been messed up because of they've been pissing me off. So, these politicians. Okay. Hillary Clinton, the queen of warmongers, she has a podcast. And her latest guest was Nancy Pelosi. Yes, I already know what you're thinking. Oh God, can it get any worse? I don't know, man. Maybe next time we get Kissinger on, who knows? Here's what, again, I went digging to find this. Okay, I'm going to play you what they're saying. Let's take a listen to what they said. And I have the script, by the way, so hopefully we can follow along with them. Okay, I want to get to this part where they start talking about the Capitol and what happened there. So let's get to playing this. And there you go.
Down the river for that one issue.
And you know, one of the terrible ironies of their position is that starting in the 90s, under Democratic presidents, the abortion rate went lower.
I think it's a bit later. 1 second.
On this subject, but they know this is something I am all the way with. And so I understand and I respect their point of view for them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But that doesn't mean it's a point of view.
Do not define
family in your.
There's a bunch of ads playing. I'm sorry. Here we go.
But we now know that not just him, but his enablers, his accomplices, his cult members have the same disregard for democracy. Do you think we need a 9/11 type commission to investigate and report everything that they can pull together and explain what happened?
I do. Let me, again, to your point of who is he beholden to, as I've said over and over, as I said to him in that picture with my blue suit,
right,
as I was leaving, what I was saying to him as I was pointing rudely at him, with you, Mr. President, all roads lead to Putin. I don't know what Putin has on him politically, financially, or personally, but what happened last week was a gift to Putin because Putin wants to undermine democracy in our country and throughout the world. And these people, unbeknownst to them maybe, are Putin puppets. They were doing Putin's business when they did that at the incitement of an insurrection by the President of the United States. So yes, we should have a 9/11 commission, and there is strong support in the Congress to do that. We can't do that until we can pass a bill, and since the Senate's not in, we'll have to do that as soon as the Senate is in. But there is support for that. In the meantime, though, I've announced that General Honore will be giving us guidance as to control and command. Clearly, there needs to be a restructuring of the infrastructure of security in the Capitol.
For listeners who may not know, General Honore is the retired general who literally came to the rescue of the...
All right. I know I'm making you suffer. I know you don't want to listen to them. But it's important. It's important. It's important to show you how ridiculous this is. And I think we missed it just earlier, but you can see a part where Hillary, look what she says here. She's talking about Trump. She's saying, I don't think we yet know. I hope historically we will find out who he's beholden to, who pulls his strings. I would love to see his phone records to see whether he was talking to Putin the day that the insurgents invaded our capital. Really? Really? And of course, the media ran with it, right? The media started reporting this as fact almost. Truly, right? And then, of course, people swallow it because they don't know how to exercise any sort of nuance or critical thinking. So just to give you a glimpse of the headlines. Okay, the Daily Mail. Yeah, okay. Not much hope there anyway. But see, Hillary Clinton says Putin may have known about the Capitol riot. No, that's not what she said. She said a lot of ridiculous things, but that's not what she said. But of course, people assume it's true, right? Here, you can see Hillary Clinton suggests Donald Trump incited Capitol riot on Putin's behalf. Yes, she's suggesting that indeed. Is it true? Do we know that? Was she in the room? Who the fuck knows? Also, I just want to point another thing out. I mean, obviously this whole assertion is completely absurd. But even if you were to play devil's advocate, okay, just hypothetically speaking, imagine tomorrow morning we got a hold of his phone records that day. And it turns out he really was speaking to Putin at that exact moment. What is bizarre about that? You do know that presidents speak to each other all the time, yes? Like that is a common thing. I'm just saying. So I don't even know what that means. It's just fucking astounding. They're still pushing this Russiagate nonsense. And it's like the xenophobia, the fact that people are comfortable with this is unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Like, have people not progressed or evolved from the era of McCarthyism? Have you learned nothing? Do they teach you about that in school? I learned about that in school. I didn't go to an American school. Well, I mean, my high school education was in a French school. So they taught us about McCarthyism. I don't know if they taught you guys, because it happened in your country. It's unbelievable. This is 2021, and they're still pushing this bullshit. Biden has been inaugurated, and they're still pushing this bullshit. Or to be fair, though, this is a day ago, or a few days ago, right? So before his inauguration, but he's been elected, right? Why are they still pushing this shit? They're not going to let it go. You know that, right? They're not going to let it go. During the next couple of years, anyone who criticizes Joe Biden or his administration is going to be labeled a Russian agent, a Putin puppet. There's literally using that language. It's not just some some term you hear thrown around. No, Nancy Pelosi, you just heard her say Putin puppet. Like they full on believe this shit. I mean, I actually don't think they believe this shit, but they know damn well that this is all just nonsense. But it's astonishing. And you can be damn sure they're going to continue pushing Russiagate. They're going to continue selling this narrative that, oh, look, Putin, he's behind everything. And, he's so smart that he's able to subvert American democracy, which, we keep hearing, especially Arabs, that America is the beacon of democracy and freedom in the world. So, I mean, doesn't really inspire much confidence. But nonetheless, Putin is behind everything, right? Well, make up your minds. Was it white supremacists or was it Putin? You have to pick one. Because I'm having a hard time understanding here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to keep pushing both, right? Because that way you can pass domestic terror laws and quell any sort of criticism, working class movement, any kind of sit-ins, protests. You had people saying, for example, if you go into a federal building without authorization, you should be put on a no-fly list. So does that mean if you, as a leftist, right, a lefty, you want to do a sit-in, which is a peaceful, nonviolent protest, you can't do that anymore? You're going to get put on a no-fly list? Like, think of the ramifications this has for you as a lefty. Fuck the white supremacists, right? Just think of what this means in broad terms in regards to holding politicians accountable and direct action. Saying, no, not allowed. You should be worried. Because we've seen this movie before. It's not like, oh, we're fear-mongering about what might happen. No, this authoritarian, this expansion, well, rather creation, and then, of course, the expansion under Obama of the surveillance state is real. It happened. We've seen what they do, not just in the US, but even abroad, right? Kidnapping foreign nationals, torturing them, rendition. They will go fucking crazy. Do you understand this? And no one will hold them accountable, ever. So yes, there's an issue here. And of course, the Russian thing, like, oh, well, you know, you're just a Putin puppet. You're a foreign agent. So you can't say anything about imperialism. You can't say anything about foreign policy. Oh, you're a Putin puppet. And what is astonishing, I just want to remind you the irony here. You know, Donald Trump has been acting like a spoiled brat, right? And saying like, oh, well, they stole this election from me. And he's been disputing the election results, right? And they're saying that he's been trying to undermine their democracy with that. Well, I mean, America doesn't have a democracy. But anyway, let's go with their line of thinking for now. What does that say then about Hillary Clinton and all of the media that have been pushing Russiagate for the last years? Have you also not been disputing election results? Also based on just, I mean, I would argue the Russiagate shit is even fucking wilder. You saw what happened. They had a whole Mueller report and, you know, they appointed a special prosecutor. And I mean, Christ, like they made money off of that shit. Real money. You saw Rachel Maddow. You saw all these shows, these books bringing out. Some author was posting a picture of all the books written about Trump. You had a stack this big, and of course, you know, baseless, complete bullshit. And in the process, they smeared WikiLeaks as well. They used it to smear WikiLeaks. So, I mean, the irony is staggering. The irony is staggering. And now they're calling for a commission similar to the 9/11 commission. If I recall correctly, the 9/11 commission, when they published their report, again, I was quite young when this happened, but I vaguely remember it cleared the Saudis of blame. So just from that alone, I know that that's full of shit. It stinks. Something stinks. So, I mean, I don't know what they mean exactly because, you know, given the results of that endeavor, it was not a very exhaustive investigation, was it? Nonetheless, the main takeaway here is, once again, what did I tell you about? The rhetoric. Do you see how Chuck Schumer compared the Capitol riots to Pearl Harbor? They're comparing it now to 9/11. They're saying this is of such devastating proportions. This is such an affront on our democracy that it is of the same caliber as 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. That's what they're trying to tell you. I mean, you can be appalled by what happened without making absurd exaggerations, right? Truly. Surely no one thinks that was of the same nature or caliber as 9/11 or Pearl Harbor. Are you serious? That's obscene. What I do see, however, I see the same media circus playing out, the same kind of propaganda. Oh my God, look, our nation's capital is under attack. They're striking at the heart of our democracy. Our republic is imperiled. We're under extreme duress. We're facing grave dangers. Look, we need a commission. Quickly, we have to pass a domestic terror law. And if you say anything, you're a white supremacist. If you say anything, you support Donald Trump. What? Again, I have more reason to hate Trump than you, to be honest. But I could say that about every American president. Yeah, no, they don't care. No. You either accept what we're doing or you're with them. Right? Same language as George Bush. You're either with us or against us. That's it. Psh. So, of course, they bring out Nancy Pelosi, who's just been reelected as House Speaker. They bring out Hillary Clinton, who astonishingly is nonetheless still one of the most prominent senior figures in the Democratic Party, to help push this, right? And the media, as I'm just showing you, runs with it. They run with it. I'm just trying to show you more headlines here, right? A lot of them are about Navalny, but I want to focus on the riots specifically. But here you go. So top Democrats in U.S. urge Putin probe into Capitol riots. Like, look how they just blow the shit out of proportion. A Putin probe? What? Crazy. This is funny, by the way, how they said Putin is not recognizing Biden's victory, which is not true. But nonetheless, it sells. And so yeah, again, you can see a lot of them are about Navalny here, but the media is just running with it. And you see here, they're saying that Donald Trump is leaving a cloud of mystery in his departure, and that, you know, we're uncertain about what happened. And make up your minds. You have to make up your minds, because I'm getting confused with this bullshit. 1 second they say, look, there were kill capture teams, and these are white supremacists, and Trump incited them. Trump refused to acknowledge the election results. He said that votes were siphoned away. He said that he filed several lawsuits, remember, and to dispute and recount. And they say that this is all of Trump's fault, and therefore he should be impeached, right? They impeached him over it. Then they turn around and say, no, it's not Trump, it's Putin. What? Which one is it? Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. Because these people are not fucking interested in reporting or making sense. It's just they repeat what people like Pelosi and Hillary Clinton say. And they frame it as fact. And you know damn well most people will not even read the article. They will see the headline and scroll past. They won't even read the article, never mind go and actually read the transcript, listen to the audio as I just played to you, and point out the glaring contradiction here that they don't even know who to blame exactly. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right? Kind of like the anthrax letters. It's kind of like the war on terror. Like, was it Saddam? Was it Al-Qaeda? Was it the Taliban? Doesn't matter. We'll fuck all of them. We'll go after all of them, and we'll use this to justify anything we want to do. It doesn't have to be true. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is, if most people believe it, we can do what we like. We can pass whatever laws we want. That's the point. Christ. And remember, this is not new. Huh? You had this stuff like from the Washington Post in 2019 saying that Trump has spoken privately with Putin at least 16 times. Here's what we know about the conversations. Okay, you do know that heads of state speak to each other, right? You do know that that's a thing. Doesn't matter. Fucking hysteria, man. It's hysteria, truly. I honestly wonder sometimes what Russians think of all of this. Like, do they even hear about this? Because it's so dumb. It's so ridiculous and baseless. I wonder if they even hear about this, and if they do, if they just laugh at it. I'm pretty sure they do. Truly farcical. And for the United States of all countries, the United States is the last country on the face of this planet to talk about interfering in other countries' affairs. The last one. Compile a list, you put the US at the bottom with the United Kingdom. The last country. Okay? Well, maybe once you actually stop voter suppression, you stop treating Hispanics, blacks, and the working class like dirt, and you actually let them participate in your democracy. Maybe when you close down all of your military bases and stop terrorizing and invading other countries, maybe when you stop enacting coups in other nations, then you can talk about your concerns that maybe another country interfered in your democracy and show some evidence too, not just lie about it. Maybe then you won't look like a fucking hypocrite and a dumbass. I mean, Hillary Clinton was literally jumping for joy when Gaddafi was killed. So like, it's totally fine. Again, Hillary Clinton was jumping for joy when Gaddafi was killed in Libya, right? What did you say? We came, we saw, he died? I can't remember how she butchered the quote, but it was something like that, right? Jumping for joy. Literally. So she's totally okay with interfering in Libya's politics. She's totally okay with interfering in Syria's politics, but can't do it to the US. No, not allowed. Oh, these people are so horrendous. They really are. They really are horrendous. So I'm just gonna, I wanted to do a segment on Blinken, because he was confirmed as Secretary of State, but I'm going to wait for that because it was 4 hours and I need to watch it again. I need to watch it still. I've only seen a few parts. However, one thing I wanted to cover is, oh God, this monster over here. Hold on. I did a video about her, which I want to pull up for you. Okay. Here she is. War criminal Karen. War criminal Karen. So, okay.
Last one.
Oop, that's a bit loud. All right. This is from today, all right? This clip that I'm about to show you. Right, so Nicole Wallace. You remember her. We've covered her before. I will go through her resume in a second. This is the clip that I'm about to show you now. This is her speaking today. And she's calling for the permanent expulsion and punishment for any and all forms of conservative media that run counter to her political views. She says Republicans should be banned from speaking unless they first speak the truth. Let's play the clip and then we'll dive into it, okay?
And if we get enough Republicans who are willing to do that, I think the combination of what Joe Biden can do, what can be done through policy, what can be done with tech companies, and hopefully what at least a somewhat more responsible Republican Party can do, can begin to drain the toxicity out of our democracy.
When two former West Wing staffers talk, we always talk in lists. You gave me three things I want to respond to. Let me start with your last point about Republicans telling the truth. It would be my policy that a Republican must assert the truth before they're allowed to share any other views. And Lindsey Graham, I understand, appeared somewhere today and refused to really go far enough in beating down the lie. I want to read you something Tom Friedman wrote, though, about social media companies. He writes this: Mark Zuckerberg and Sheryl Sandberg have to surprise us by once and for all stopping the elevation for profit of news that divides and enrages over more authoritative, even-handed news sources. Why? That does not seem out of reach. If we can protect against counterfeit dollar bills, we should be able to protect against fake news that we now know has the potential to kill people, as it did 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Wow. Look who is talking. Do you know who Nicole Wallace used to be? Shall I jog your memory? Trying to find a nice old image. She used to be the communications director for George Bush. Remember George Bush, who lied about WMDs in Iraq? Invaded that country, killed and displaced millions of Iraqis over lies. And now she's concerned with Republicans telling lies that get people killed. You cannot make this up. Bitch, we know who you are. Who the fuck do you think you're kidding? You were part of that fucking government that lied about anthrax letters and weapons of mass destruction to the world. You started fucking wars over that. You killed millions of people. You got some fucking nerve, lady. And here she is on MSNBC justifying the fucking torture program.
Helpful in killing bin Laden. But you watch that
torture.
Yeah. And there is a debate
doctor in the room
on whether that is actionable intelligence or not.
When they decapitate people with a knife.
We have to start comparing ourselves to
You just said we're a beacon, a moral beacon. So, in the history of this country, I think months after 9/11. There were 3 people who we thought knew about imminent attacks, and we did whatever we had to do. And I pray to God that till the end of time, we do whatever we have to do to find out what's happening. And the notion that this somehow makes America less great is asinine and dangerous. And I swear to God, I have never felt more frustrated with this White House's inability to speak clearly than I was yesterday when John Carl was pushing Josh Earnest to say whether Obama found the information gleaned helpful in killing bin Laden. But you watch that exchange with John Carl and Earnest, and that's what this is about. Does it help us kill people who want to kill us, regardless of what we do? But the notion that what we do affects the behavior of terrorists is a lie. It's a lie perpetrated by political correctness and by liberals, and it's dangerous.
That's just not true. That's not true.
That's how I feel. You don't have to win me over, and I don't have to win you over.
God, I can't stand her. I can't stand her. That's why we call her war criminal Karen. What a horrid human being, truly. There she is. Look at them. Fucking neocon scum. Truly the bottom of the barrel. Villainous, vile scum. The scum of the earth. People who should be tried for war crimes. And she has the fucking balls now to come and talk about holding Republicans who lie accountable. Bitch, you should be the first one in fucking line. All right? I didn't hear you saying that stuff about Bush. You were his mouthpiece. His fucking mouthpiece. This bitch. I mean, It's staggering how they rehabilitate themselves. They rehabilitate George Bush, right? ABC playing clips of his inauguration right now, today. And she's talking about lies that kill people, as if Iraq never happened. You know, the invasion of Afghanistan never took place. WMDs? We never lied about WMDs. Yeah, torture? We're fine with torture. What's wrong with torture? America's great. We're the best. Neocon scum. Sewer rats, truly. And you see how these people fail upwards? Not just her, but all of them. Wolf Blitzer, it doesn't matter. Brian Williams, it doesn't matter. They report, is the wrong word. They relay and print and speak and say the most outrageous lies. Just made up shit. Complete fabrications. And they get their own shows. Right? She was given, Nicole Wallace, she was given her own 2-hour slot on MSNBC just recently. You get rewarded for lying about weapons of mass destruction. You get rewarded for being part of Bush's government. For being his mouthpiece, the communications director. Unfucking believable. And then they got the nerve to talk about lies and about holding people accountable and telling the truth. Oh my God. This is like listening to a fucking SS officer talk about human rights. That's exactly what it is. It's the same level of ridiculousness, the same level of absurdity. God, I cannot stand these people. Really, like it's unreal how they're not just rewarded for it. Like, it would be one thing if, oh, okay, the establishment, the propaganda machine is rewarding one of their own and not holding them accountable. That's one thing. But the fact that people forget so easily, that I have to remind people that, you know, this is not commonly called out or remembered is frightening. How easily people forget. How easily they do. I cannot stand them. I really cannot. Neocon scum. Mass murdering scum. Some of the worst people on this fucking planet. And that is saying something. It really is. If there was any justice in this world, she, along with everyone from the Bush regime, would be in a fucking jail cell right now. Not Julian Assange. All right? That's straight facts. If there was any justice in this world, the Bush government, the Blair government, they would all be in jail. But no. Instead, they're invited to speak at the DNC convention. They're invited to the inauguration. They're invited onto Ellen's show. They're given 2-hour slots on MSNBC. They're all rewarded. They fail upwards. They're given accolades and, you know, various perks, nice salaries, and people act like it never happened. Unbelievable. And I think it's very important. It's really important to call out and remind everyone of the damage they cause, the destruction, the suffering, because it's still ongoing. And even if it had come to a halt, you know, this is still something that impacts us every day. It impacts the world. Millions of people suffered as a result. You should not get a free pass for that. I mean, and coming here and lecturing about telling the truth. Go and fuck yourself. Seriously. I don't have any respect for you. You are a scumbag. You are a war criminal. You are war criminal Karen. That's what you are. I mean, just the fact that she's on television justifying torture is an atrocity in of itself. Never mind the fact that she was part of the Bush government. Christ almighty. So We've got a few super chats over here that I want to read to you. Thank you once again for your donations. I really appreciate it. This one is from Michael. Michael says, love your content. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very humbled to hear that. I appreciate it a lot. And that was on Venmo. I thank you very much for that. We also got one from Mona. Mona, it's good to see that you're tuned in. I was hoping you'd catch the show. Mona saying, unity. She's talking about the lovely ring that she gave me, right? My Dave Chappelle, Rick James ring. Unity. You can't see it. It's glinting, glistening. I don't know. I forgot what the word is. Because of the light. There you go. Yeah, that's the new Biden slogan. Build back better, unity. What? You don't need health care? It's okay. We got unity. Fuck you, bitch. This is going to be the Biden administration, basically. No healthcare, unity. Thank you, Mona. I really appreciate it. You're the best. And we also got one from Sadiq Ibrahim says, do you see Biden returning to the JCPOA? If not, what do you expect to be the Iran response to all of this? Yeah, because I'm glad you wrote as IRN, because apparently if you put the word Syria or Iran in a PayPal donation, it doesn't go through. So if not, what do you expect to be the Iran response to all this? And what do you think about it? Very valuable what you do for humankind. Keep it up, good sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. So just to answer your question, that's a very good question. Thank you. So now that Biden has been sworn in as U.S. president, what of the Iran nuclear deal? Okay, so this is a multifaceted answer. After Trump ripped up the deal, pulled the United States out of it in May 2018, after he assassinated General Soleimani, head of the Quds Force, which is he's Iran's top general, frankly. After numerous incidents of aggression from the United States towards Iran, each time Iran started pulling away from the deal. So Iran never really withdrew from the deal, but every time Trump did something, committed an act of aggression, they would say, okay, you know what? We're going to enrich uranium past the 3.67%, for example, or we're going to increase the number of centrifuges. You see, it was always like playing a game of responses to the Trump administration, right? Oh, you're attacking us? Fine, then we're going to stop following this protocol in the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal. We're going to stop following this one. And there's like, I think, 4 or 5 of them at this point, right? And back in November, when Fakhrizadeh was assassinated, people in Iran were outraged, and the parliament passed a draft resolution saying that, okay, within the next 2 months, pay attention why they use that time frame, because that meant they're waiting for Biden to be inaugurated. Within the next 2 months, if the U.S. doesn't re-enter the deal and comply with the JCPOA, unaltered, we are going to start enriching uranium way past the 3.67%. I can't remember what the figure was. I think they said 20%, but way past this limit that was outlined in the Iran nuclear deal, and which was what you need for civilian purposes, right? So they are giving a chance to the U.S. Iran is giving the U.S. a chance. They're giving Biden a chance. And again, one of the things which Trump did is sanctions, for example, right? He was slapped so many sanctions on Iran. It's unbelievable. It's more sanctions than Syria, Venezuela, all of the other countries combined. Colossal amount. And so that was why Iran kept pulling away from the JCPOA bit by bit. And you need to understand something. What Biden has signaled, and Germany has said this as well, and a bunch of other countries, they've taken Trump's position. They're now saying, yeah, we want to re-enter a nuclear deal with Iran, but we want to change it. So the reason Trump wasn't happy with the JCPOA was that he said, oh, look, Obama gave them all of this cash. Well, first of all, it's their cash. Frozen assets, they're still Iranian assets. I mean, that's number one. And he said that it doesn't curb Iran's ballistic missile program, right? They're scared of that because Iran has done exceptionally well, particularly for a country under sanctions. And they have rockets that can reach Israel, for example, right? And they do remember, Israel does take ballistic missiles seriously. That's why they went and assassinated all those German scientists who were working, Nazi scientists, by the way, who were working for Egypt in the Cold War and developing their ballistic missile program. So they do take that seriously. But that was not included as part of the JCPOA because it's got nothing to do with nukes. They're just ballistic missiles. Nonetheless, Trump was like, oh, no, this is unacceptable. We have to curb their ballistic missile program. We have to stop Iran's, this is how they phrase it, destabilizing role in the region. What does that mean? That means they're annoyed because Iran is supporting Hezbollah, which threatens Israel and is a exceptional fighting force. They're legitimately scared of that. It's a threat to them. They're also scared of Iran's support for Palestine, Iran's support for Syria, helping them crush al-Qaeda and all of the groups that the US funded. So they just basically don't want Iran helping to resist imperialism in neighboring countries and in Iraq, of course, right? The PMU, the Popular Mobilization Units, the Hashd al-Sha'bi, which is also inconvenient for the US to say the least. So that's what Trump wanted. And now we're hearing the same shit from Germany, from Biden's team. And Iran has been very clear. We're not renegotiating the fucking deal. And I think they're right, because what's the point of having a deal if you just pull out and then say, oh no, I want to change the deal? Okay, what? So you're going to do the same shit with the next deal? Like, it's never ending then. You can't be taken seriously. Your word doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. So now we're going to see what happens. Biden, he has a small window to recomply with the JCPOA. We'll see if he will. But Iran have been pretty clear. They're not going to agree to a new deal. This is as good as it gets. And if they don't like it, they can fuck off. That's basically it. So I hope that answers your question. Now, me personally, do I think Biden is going to do it? I don't know. I honestly think that even though Biden and the Democrats and the media would like you to think that he's more cool-headed, so to speak, compared to Trump, I'll remind you that during the protests in Iran in 2009, again, we talked about this, disputing the election results, the Obama administration made sure that Twitter kept service up so that they could possibly help in destabilizing the country, right? In another example, they worked on the Stuxnet virus with Israel, which to me, I mean, yeah, it's an act of aggression. Could you imagine if Iran sabotaged the United States nuclear centrifuges with a computer virus? Do you think Washington would give a fuck that it was a computer virus and not a missile? To them, it would be an act of war. You would have a war breakout. So why is it okay to do that to Iran? It's also an act of aggression and an act of sabotage. So my point here is that the Obama administration has, and of course, not to mention they destabilized the whole region, which also affects Iran, right? My point here is that the Obama administration, which included Biden, they've been hawkish on Iran. No questions there. Of course, you can say now, yeah, but the JCPOA is still a diplomatic breakthrough and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay, but at the end of the day, you still, if you look at it, really, it's still a bunch of white countries, Western countries, going to the other side of the planet, wagging their fingers, and you better do this or else we're going to fuck you. I mean, if you call that diplomacy, okay. And nonetheless, I'm not holding out much hope for Biden. Let's just put it that way, right? Let's just put it that way. But Iran, they've been coming through correct, man. They followed the deal. They did not violate it. They did not pull away from any of the protocols until Trump started committing acts of aggression. And I think they've exercised enormous restraint. I mean, there were many occasions where Iran could have easily responded with a declaration of war. and they didn't. So you can clearly see who's being more cool-headed. That's just being objective, right? Just take all the things that Trump did and reverse the roles and think, would the US have acted with such restraint? No, they would have declared war in return. Iran didn't do that. And they've been very smart about it, I think. Right? So Biden has a chance here. Enter the deal unchanged, or go fuck yourself. We'll see what happens. Jose, thank you for the super chat. Jose says, it's her way of pushing the blame for running a terrible campaign and not admitting that she's the one that gave us Trump. You're talking about Hillary, right? Yeah. In many ways. I mean, not only did she run a terrible campaign and offer nothing, but the Pied Piper strategy. I mean, I showed you that. We looked at it together. That's thanks to WikiLeaks. I mean, let me just put it to you this way. If I had come here and I told you, hey guys, Hillary Clinton, the Democratic Party, their strategy, because they're in bed with each other, is to elevate a Pied Piper candidate, and they picked Donald Trump and Ben Carson, and who's the third one? Ted Cruz, I think. I can't remember. You would not believe me. No one would believe me. You'd think I'm a lunatic. But we have proof. We have the WikiLeaks emails. No one has ever denied their authenticity. We know they're real. Everything WikiLeaks has ever published is real. So you can't come here after giving people Trump and then complain that Russia did it. You did it. Christ. So yeah. Emblemed Fate. Good to see you. Habibi says, sad already. I know Biden's going to destroy another Arab or African country, but at least Trump made me laugh when he did that. It's all depressing now. Yeah, I used to hear something along the same lines that, like if Hillary had won, it would be the same crap, but at least Trump is a bit of a clown. Orange clown. Let's be specific there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I find myself crying more than laughing most of the time, but it's I understand your point. I understand your sentiment, because what's going to happen now is you're going to have everyone going back to sleep. Everyone's going to go back to sleep. They've all entered a zombie trance. That's where we're at now. Everyone has become a fucking zombie. Fred says that's violence. Wait, which part, man? Which part? So hold on a second. I'm just seeing over here if we got another super chat. Yes, we got one from Marissa. Marissa, thank you very, very much. Says, people are already only focusing on the fashion of the inauguration rather than things that matter. Oh, speaking of which, thank you for reminding me. Oh, God, this is so ridiculous. It's true. It's true what you're saying. Hold on, let me pull this up. I saved it somewhere, for goodness sake. I think this was it. I don't know. No. I love doing live impromptu segments. You know why? I think it's good. I think it's good to have a bit of Bill O'Reilly in you, in the sense that you just say, fuck it, we'll do it live. No hesitation. Stupid thing. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'll record it, then we'll do it live. It's good. It's good to have that fire. So let me show you a little bit of fashion from the inauguration, right? Here we go. Wonderful, that boy. Splendid. So as Marissa pointed out in her super chat, thank you for the donation. People are already going back to sleep, going back to brunch, glossing over Biden's crimes, glossing over Biden and Kamala's records, whitewashing George Bush. And they're also focusing on fashion, right? So just to read your super chat again, people are already only focusing on the fashion of the inauguration rather than things that matter. Indeed. And in this example, I'll be honest, it's not the worst part of the inauguration coverage, but nonetheless. Bernie Sanders. They're making fun of his outfit. Take a look. Hold on, can you hear anything? I cannot hear a thing. Maybe that works now.
Today, what you had in your gloves. Do you want to talk to us about your attire today? What you had in mind?
Well, you know, in Vermont, we dress warm. We know something about the cold, and we're not so concerned about good fashion. We want to keep warm, and that's what I did today.
Well, mission accomplished, sir. Mission accomplished.
Okay. You know what? To be honest, that is kind of funny. I mean, those gloves are fucking horrendous. They're kind of cute though. They're kind of cute, but they're horrendous. I'm glad that the media are exercising their due diligence and scrutiny of Joe Biden keeping his campaign promises and delivering on the working class. Oh no, never mind. Let's just look at Bernie's gloves. I really loathe neoliberals, you know, I really do. It's like falling into a spiral of thoughts of all these war crimes. No, but Bernie Sanders, somebody noted, I don't know if you can see it here. He's back in a suit now, but you know that jacket that Bernie was wearing in that meme? I'm once again asking for your support, something like that. This one, here we go. Yeah, he wore that jacket again today at the inauguration. And someone said Bernie Sanders is the only one who's dressed like the inauguration is just part of his to-do list. Yeah, actually. Does look that way. Everyone else is dressed in suits and tuxedos and acting like Joe Biden is some kind of messiah and pretending he's not a racist piece of shit. But nonetheless, Bernie Sanders, Bernie. What can I say? Recently, Bernie was talking about healthcare, right? And he said something along the lines of working within what Joe Biden wants. I find that very odd because Joe Biden has said he will veto Medicare for all, so he doesn't want anything, Bernie. I think you know that. Why would you say such a thing? You know, why not rally the people like you said you would in front of Mitch McConnell's house or in his hometown at least, and pressure using direct action in order to enact some change? Why can't you do that with Biden? Why is Biden off limits? Oh, wait, I remember. Joe Biden is a good friend of mine. Yeah, Bernie, you have shitty friends. In case no one's told you. You have really shitty friends. Okay. It hurts. It really does. Because, as I've said before, Bernie did not necessarily need to win the election. Yes, I know it's leagues more valuable and advantageous, but he did not need to win the presidency in order to get certain things done. If he would rally his movement, which, in all fairness, is something of a feat, is something impressive that he's built, right? He could get some things done with a general strike, a debt strike, a rent strike. I mean, we saw people doing wildcat strikes, you know, McDonald's workers fighting for the $15 minimum wage, right? We saw his name escapes me now. Chris Smalls from Amazon, I think was his name. He was fired because he tried organizing a protest, which shows you again how capitalists are afraid of direct action. We saw people trying to do that. Why aren't you doing that, Bernie? Why are you gotta... roll over. Why you got to do this? Why you got to wear those gloves? Take the gloves off, as we used to yell. Take the fucking gloves off, Bernie. Oh, God. I'm just trying to find you that quote. You'll excuse me one second. I want to find you that exact quote by Bernie because I want to show it to you. Okay. Again, we got to keep the Bill O'Reilly spirit. We'll do it live. Here we go. It's from Politico. Good things come to those who wait, but not healthcare, unfortunately. So this is from Politico. I'm going to read it to you. Well, look, I am a very strong advocate of Medicare for all. I introduced legislation in the Senate. I think at the end of the day, the American people understand that our current healthcare system is so dysfunctional, so cruel, so wasteful, so expensive that we need to do what every other major country on earth does and get healthcare to all people. What we will be doing is working within the context of what Biden wants. Is that not a direct contradiction? Am I tripping, or did he not just contradict himself right there? Biden doesn't want to give you healthcare. He doesn't want to change anything. He's perfectly fine with the status quo. As a matter of fact, again, that clip that I played to you where he's just incoherently rambling just days ago and also again today during the inauguration, he's saying like, what, we want to ensure easier access to whether there's a healthcare what? I fucking word salad. I don't know what you're saying. No clue. Doesn't sound like Medicare for all in any case. You can't reform the Democratic Party. Democratic Party reforms you. That does not sound like pushing Biden left. That sounds like capitulating, does it not? That's what it sounds like to me. But I think we're well past that point. I think this was obvious many months ago. I think that was many months, many months past. Just want to talk about that. I don't know how we got from Bernie's atrocious gloves, although they are cute in some capacity. I don't know how we got from that to this, but there you go. It's a shame. It's a shame. So we got a couple of super chats. I will read them to you. Thank you so much for your donations. And if you have not hit the like button yet, I implore you, I kindly ask you to, because it helps with the algorithm. Here we go. This is from M10 Berserk. Says, much love, Habibi. It's so nice to see a non-Muslim stand up for the Muslims. Need more journalists like you. Walau. Ala rasi, ala aini. I mean, of course, it goes without saying. And again, I think people underestimate how much of a harmony and a unity we have in Syria. I can speak for Syria at the very least, but I know you can find this in other Middle Eastern countries, but especially in Syria, where there's no such thing like, that guy is Christian, so I'm not going to talk to him, or this guy's Shia or Sunni, or he's Druze, or we don't have that. We don't have that. I call Syria the melting pot of the Middle East, and I think in the true sense of that term, in the veritable meaning, because that's what makes Syria Syria. You have such a diversity, such a patchwork, such a lovely social fabric of so many different ethnic groups and religions and people from all walks of life. I think it's really good. And I'm really proud of that. And so, sorry, just going back to your super chat, it goes without saying, right? It goes without saying. And people really need to wake up to what's going on. So whether that's in the Middle East where we were born, or whether it's, Venezuela, for example. Again, I don't really have any connection to Venezuela. I've never been there. I don't know that much about the country specifically in terms of, I don't have like a bond with Venezuela or Yemen, for example. I've never been to Yemen. But still, when you see an injustice and you see a country being attacked by imperialism, we always have to point that out. But thank you. I really appreciate that nonetheless. Habibi. So Emblem Fate, thank you for the super chat. It says, I know you may not be able to answer. I want to work the outside game. I don't know if U.S. is reformable on the inside. What Arab nation is safe for Afro like me? Well, you're talking about Russian interference. That's the interesting thing, by the way, because I've heard people give me comments like, oh, well, you're not American. Why are you talking about Medicare for all? It's not your fight. Now, you know damn well that is completely fucking irrelevant. Maybe when you leave the Middle East alone, then I won't say anything anymore. But no, that's absurd. Like, you just want to stop foreign journalism. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked here, but I don't know if you can really do anything outside or inside, Habibi. The problem is not where you do it from. It's even if tomorrow morning you were inside the US and you're in Congress even, right? As we're seeing with the Squad, for example, because they share similar backgrounds to us in many ways, right? Rashida Tlaib, for example, Ilhan Omar. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing is, again, as I just said a few minutes ago, you don't reform the Democratic Party. There's no reform with these groups, these two wings of the uniparty, the two sides of the same coin. So the question is now not where you're doing it from. The question is, like, do you think you can actually reform it? I don't know. There are some people, for example, especially in the last years, who would argue the U.S. empire is in collapse. Now that changes the whole dynamic, right? Because if it's collapsing, it's going to eat itself from the inside, man. There's nothing you can do, regardless. And hopefully they leave us the fuck alone in the process. Hopefully. You never know. I've said this many times before. Look at the British Empire, right? British Empire is the biggest empire in history. 1/5 of the planet under British rule. That's 100 years ago. Where is it now? It's gone. There's no trace of it. I mean, you could argue the U.S. is the leftover is the demon spawn. That's what I've called it. I've called the U.S. the demon spawn of the U.K. I think it's very accurate, if I may say so. But the British Empire itself, it's nowhere to be found, right? Of course, you still have the effects of colonialism. You still have countries that are suffering because of it. Yes, that's not something we're denying. I mean, just look at Palestine. Just look at Kashmir. Just look at all over the planet. But my point is that empires can disappear just like that. Yeah? So who knows what happens with the U.S.? Who knows? What is that phrase again? The fall is quick or something like that. Anyway. Jim, thank you for your super chat. Says, love your show. Half of Biden's cabinet are staunch supporters of apartheid state of Israel. I mean, to be completely honest, I don't doubt the veracity of your claim, but I don't know that because when I was looking at Avril Haines, I mean, I was looking at what she's done with Obama, right? What she's done in terms of her record. I didn't really see that much to do with Israel. It was mostly about the drone program, things like that. If you look at Blinken, you can look at what he's been saying as Biden's foreign policy advisor. You can look at what he's been doing with Obama. Also, Avril Haines, man, I was watching this film called The Report. It came out last year, I think. It's about the CIA torture report. And there's a part in it, this is real, at least this part, where the CIA hacked into the Senate's computers to see what they had found out about the torture program. Which is, I mean, that's a huge breach of not just trust, but you have no more separation of powers, and it's just simply illegal. You're inspecting the people inspecting you. Anyway, my point is Avril Haines helped to cover that up. Right? So no one's been punished for that. I think she formed some kind of oversight committee, and then of course their conclusion was like, yeah, no wrongdoing at all. It's fine. Which is just like when the police investigate themselves after they shoot a black man. Like, oh no, it's okay. We've sent the murderer who had a badge. We've sent him on paid vacation, and we'll look into it. And then they come back after a few months. Yeah, actually, we did nothing wrong. It's the same shit, right? It's just absurd. So that's what I know about them so far. I'm not surprised though if they're all staunch supporters of Israel. You probably are if you're in Biden's cabinet. You probably are. That's like a that's a standard feature of every American politician, isn't it? Anna Jackson, thank you for these super chats. Says, so Richard, you don't want me to send you some footy pajamas with bunny ears on them so you can sleep cozy after brunch? Well, to be honest, that does sound good, especially now in winter. I wouldn't mind them, but there's no brunch for us. we are not going to participate in the neoliberal circle jerk. No, that's not for us. If you do want to send me some bunny, what is it again? Footy pajamas with bunny ears on them, I will be making a PO box, and thank you for reminding me. Man, several people have asked me, and I keep forgetting. I need to get on top of this. Thank you, though. That's very considerate of you. So there you go. And Marissa sent me another lovely super chat. She says, cracks me up when you do your Eton schoolboy voice, right? The Queen's English. Yes, boy. Bloody good show. Yes, we've got Mr. Biden back in the Oval Office. I have no doubt he'll be a good servant of Wall Street, boy. So yeah, I wanted to talk about Blinken, by the way. I'll save that for the next stream because I wanted to pick out some more stuff. So I'll save that for next time. Do a more comprehensive thing. We got another donation over here from, one second. I heard it, but I can't see it. Caden, thank you very much, says, independent media and journalism is my mainstream media. You are my favorite journalist and commentator. Proud of your growth. Love and appreciate you. Thank you. That is really sweet of you. And I appreciate the little crab as well. That's really humbling. I really appreciate that. And hopefully one day we will replace mainstream media and this propaganda industry entirely. Inshallah, God willing. And by the way, with that said, I really, really, really implore you guys to go make an account on Rockfin because it's free and most of the people you watch are there too. And there's no censorship. We get paid better. I mean, it's better in every way. It's still growing. I think, you're not going to find all of the same features as YouTube, but they just added, for example, a tipping feature, like a super chat, basically. So you can also do super chats there if you want. But if you do sign up, it's like you can make a free account, but there's also the option to pay $10 a month, and then you get everyone's premium. So I know that other channels do a lot of premium content. I think Jimmy, for example, does, but you're basically going to be supporting everyone at the same time, which I think is cool. And if you're on Patreon, by the way, if you're donating $10 on Patreon already, thank you very much. I would highly recommend you do it on Rockfin, though. It's probably better. And it translates into more. I don't understand crypto. Someone has explained it to me, cryptocurrency, but it's better. So the fact that I'm not censored there at all, and it's an alternative to YouTube, that's what reassures me the most. So that's all I'll say. So anyway, I hope to stream again more regularly. I see Adam is on Rockman right now. I see David. David, thank you for the tip. I'm trying to see if there was a comment with it or not, but oh yeah. So Jamie, thank you for that. Says salting the tip jar. Richard tells it like it is. Keep doing what you do. Rockfin, best place for indie media to continue doing what they do. Indeed, that's precisely my point. Thank you, Jamie. And Kathy also made a tip, but I don't think there was a comment or note. And David as well. I thank you all for that. Really excited, really grateful. So again, I'm going to be streaming much more regularly now. And next one, we'll have the Blinken thingy going on. So before I leave, I'll plug the show one last time. Thank you so much for all your support. If you can, make a small donation on Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, whatever is good for you. It's really appreciated. By the way, very exciting news. We smashed the GoFundMe. I mean, you guys are just the best. Truly. We smashed that shit. I think we're... Hold on, I'll pull it up for you. Look at that. We're over the goal. We're over it. That's amazing. I love you guys. Just fantastic. Good show. Good show. And so yeah, if you want to donate on there, that's also cool. All the links are there. And of course we have Rockfin. I highly recommend Rockfin, and Patreon as well. So yeah, I don't want to spend too much time plugging the show. I'm here to talk about the politics, but I appreciate that I can keep doing what I'm doing thanks to you guys. And I'm just thinking back. I just want to give you a little. Again, I'm going to go into grandpa mode here. I'm going to start telling old timer stories. I just want to give you an example of how valuable your support is, and I'm not saying that like as a neoliberal platitude salad. I really mean that. I'm going to give you an example of it. Okay, about a year ago, like just over a year ago. Okay, so this is like maybe 12, 13 months. I don't know, but around that time, not too long ago, when I was doing these live streams. Hold on, you can't see me. 1 second. There we go. Okay, back to my story. About a year ago, when I was doing like videos, live streams, whatever, I didn't have this mic arm or whatever it is. I had to put a tripod between my legs, right? Which is, a tripod is fine for, I don't know, recording vocals or guitars, anything. I had it mainly for music, right? But I would have this obnoxious goddamn tripod, and it would rattle too. It's old, man. It's like from 2012 or something, right? And I'd have to stick it here, and the goddamn thing would rattle all the time, and I couldn't move the chair. Otherwise, like it might tip over or something. And just, I mean, this is like such a simple upgrade to get a mic arm, but it's still significant for me. It makes my life easier, and I want to thank you for that. That's just one example, like of something that I could not afford, and now I was able to get it thanks to you. And another one, do you remember during live streams I'd have to change out the battery because the camera was still running? Again, it's also an old camera. I think it's like 2021, 6 years old. Yeah, so I would have to go and change the battery out like every hour. You know, it would die in the middle of a live stream, and then you could only hear me. And I was like, wait, I'll be right back. Well, thanks you guys. I got like an AC adapter, right? So it's plugged in, has power all the time. It makes a big fucking difference, man. So, you know, yeah, I just wanted to thank you for that. And of course, like I was able to cover the Julian Assange thing. I was able to travel because thanks to you guys. So yeah, it really makes a difference. Thank you so much. It may not appear like a big deal for some people, but it is for me. So thank you. And with that said, I'm going to sign off and see you next time. The segments will be up shortly. The next couple of years under Biden. Yeah, not looking forward to it. Then again, we'd say that under any US president, I suppose. So thanks a lot, guys. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for commenting, all of your support and kind words. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Ma salame.